started without you. I have started without you. And do you know what? I am happy as well. So that perfect show. Welcome to Colour Me Happy. Listen, I'll put my pens down for a second and we'll get started. We have got so much to look forward to this afternoon. And actually, do you want to have a look at how far I am so far? Considering I've watched...
You're doing well with that blend over there, Derek.
Couple of colouring shows in and I've got my blend thing on. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So listen, we're all going to get stuck in together this afternoon. We have got a brand new launch. Honestly, we're still bursting from the one this morning, let me tell you, but we've got a brand new launch this afternoon in Colour Me Happy as well. And it's from Annabelle Spenceley. Someone who I know just from looking at the illustrations here is great fun, got a great personality, and we've got an amazing new set which is all about Christmas. So we're keeping our Christmas vibe, Sarah, this afternoon.
Oh, it's going to be fab. It's going to be fab. Now, here, if you haven't already seen, I've put a photo over on my Facebook page of all of the cards I'm hoping to get done in the next couple of hours. I'm saying hoping because I think I've been a little bit optimistic. We're going to have to be doing some Sarah Warp Speed colouring. You could do it like that, you know, where you speed me along to get it going. But I'm so desperate to colour these stamps. I've had these at home now only about the last week and I have loved colouring with them. I did the launch on HSN earlier this week and you guys fell in love with them. And let me tell you, they work fabulously well with all colouring mediums. However, obviously my favourite, our TriBlends, I've asked for on the show today. So 3 heads up I've got for you, Derek, as well as the gorgeous Annabelle Spenceley's that you're going to be seeing. I've asked them to bring back the special offer that we do on the full 48-piece TriBlend collection. So if you've been waiting for that deal, if you are going to get in the zone and watch me do the colouring, then trust me, today is the day we've got that 48-piece TriBlend back in stock on the deal. In fact, do you want me to give you that little heads up on the item number before we go? Come on, have a little look at it.
Yeah, come on, let's have a look. All 48, which is brilliant. So that's the deep blends and it is your essential blends as well. I've got them on there. I mean, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Shall I show you a little bit closer? I'll just move my colouring to one side for a second. I'm going to be doing a lot of colouring today as well. Can't wait.
This is just me first of the 3 heads up as well. They're all as exciting as each other. Do you want to show? Go on, I'll let you show them your little card, your little colour charts.
All right.
And then
so this shows you the 3 shades of each one of the colour blends themselves. So there is the essential blends. I mean, how beautiful is that? For so many different types of projects as well. And we also have the deep blends as well, which is wonderful. So that takes your colouring to the next level because every 1 pen, of course, is 3. And I just think they are amazing. And it's only when, do you know, this is the first time, Sarah, that I've used the TriBlends on the Nina here in the studio. And my word, that blend, it's just like seamless, isn't it?
Oh, Derek, I can't be having you starting because I'm relying on you, Derek, when I go into the colouring coma to do the chit chat while I colour.
I will.
If you end up in a colouring coma as well, it's going to be a long, old 2-hour show. Well, I think you guys will enjoy it though.
I'm working on the basis that my one gorgeous image here, which is one of Annabelle's, it's on the free download as well, so go get the free download for
that
today.
was my second heads up.
Oh, sorry. Sarah's got something important to tell you.
Right, my second heads up was the free download this week. For those of you that don't know, every week we do a download that is exclusive and it's completely free, something fabulous for you to colour. Well, what we've got Annabelle to do this week, which we've got her to agree to, is she's drawn a whole extra stamp that is exclusive to the free download. So even if you don't go for the collection today, but you want to try one of Annabelle's designs to colour, I'll warn you, it comes with a health hazard because once you get one, trust me, you're going to want another one. So you can have a look at this. This is the freebie one. And I've printed it out nice and big. This is how it comes on the A4 sheet. However, if you want to get this and then you can resize it down to any size, you get the beautiful Annabelle Spenceley this week. You get one of our, I've started colouring this. I'll show Derek how to do the 3-tone blend on there. You get one of our Under the Sea designs and I love this new mandala, right? So you get all 3 of these on this week's colouring download. So that's my second heads up, okay? However, I need to give you one more heads up because I've just pulled this off about half an hour ago, okay? I found out that our Totally Tiffany delivery arrived yesterday. And we have a limited number of the rotating cutting boards. Now it's even better. This is mine from home. I've only got the 9 by 12 inch. We've got the 12 by 12. Have a little look here. This is it on the UK side. We couldn't even get it. We couldn't even get the graphics done before the show because I added it so last minute. I will warn you now, we only have a tiny amount of these, okay? And this is all of our stuff. So we had one shipment come in, and we've only got this till I don't even know when the next shipment's due in. It's weeks and weeks and weeks. So if you love working on the rotating design board, which I'm going to be using all the way through the show until that sells out, you need to get this in your basket. I'll get Derek to keep you updated as they go, but I tell you now, they will go during the show. Derek, last time I had these on and everyone saw how they worked, it went absolutely crazy, and we had way more than we've got of these today. So if you want the rotating design board, you need to not only put it in your basket, but go and get it checked out along with your lovely Annabelle Spenceley stamps.
Well, I mean, I know as well, working in the sewing world, as I did before I landed here in the Purple Kingdom, where we also have a sewing world as well, which I think is really, really good, that a rotating cutting mat is a real joy if you work with fabric. And actually, I find myself already, I mean, I didn't even know about that, because Sarah was prepping on that side of the studio, I'm prepping on this side of the studio, and I'm colouring in. I was being very, very quiet. And of course, with colouring, you're constantly rotating, aren't you, to get your angle, to get your blend, to get your line with your TriBlend. So to have something that will rotate with you, I can absolutely see the sense in having that.
I'll send it over a bit later, Derek, and let you have a play.
Oh, please.
Yay!
Please, because it's absolutely brilliant. Right, okay, let's get started and let's give you a deeper look into this brand new launch. Let me put my download to one side for a second in my colouring and do a bit of work for a change. Let me show you these fantastic new stamps, and we've got boards for them as well. So we've got an image on each one of them which has been coloured as well. So in this, awesome. What an awesome bundle. So you've got 8 stamp sets here, and what we're doing is we're adding the Nina Solar White card to this as well. So let me show you, it's 95 individual stamps, so every one of them has a key and a feature kind of illustration on it. So this is lovely. This is Enjoy the Festivities. So the key stamp on that one, of course, is the lovely lady who's going for a little bit of a skate. But you've got Winter Wishes, Enjoy the Festivities, Skating By to say hi and keep calm, it's only Christmas around that as well. Then you've got Twinkle Twinkle, and I think this is really gorgeous because you've got the little lady there who's got her kind of streamer of stars there. You've got an extra set of those, so you can put those all over your Christmas card. Cute little Christmas tree, don't you think? And a little Christmas ornament as well, plus some sentiments there. Twinkle Twinkle, it's the most wonderful time of the year, etc, etc. So many of you have fallen in love with these already. This one is Oh What Fun. So the feature one, it's the little boy dressed as the elf. There's the little elf. He's got lots of goodies in his sack there. He's got some presents, some Christmas decorations as well. A little gift for you, bringing you some Christmas cheer. Every one of these just makes you smile, doesn't it? Because they're just great fun, and you know you're going to love colouring these in as well. This is Making Spirits Bright. So it's the lady who's almost dressed as Mrs. Santa Claus there, carrying her little lantern. You've got holly in there and the gift as well. Then Hello Winter. Oh, I want a reindeer. I want my own reindeer. Oh, no, I don't actually. I don't want the responsibility. 2 cats are enough. I'll colour a picture in instead. I changed my mind really quickly then, didn't I? We're like, yeah, I really want one. No, actually, I don't really. It's all that mucking out and stuff like that. No. Let's just colour in lovely pictures of them. Next one then, From Our Home to Yours. So this is decorating the Christmas tree there. Beautiful, beautiful images. I love the gifts in these stamp sets as well. Really, really nice. And have a holly jolly Christmas and lots more. That's very sweet, isn't it? That's Merry and Bright, or Be Merry and Bright, with a little angelic little Christmas angel there, which I think is really, really sweet. And then we've got Happy Holidays for you as well. And the feature one there, how sweet are these two? How sweet. And then that might be you and your other half. So that might be a significant other card. How beautiful is that? So you've got those 8 sets of stamps, plus you're getting the white Nina Solar card. Everything you see on my little display here, apart from the Colour Me Happy card, is yours for £35 or $45. It's an amazing little collection. It really is. I know Sarah's already started. It's brilliant. I mean, it really, really is. Right, now can I get back to my colouring? And I, of course, will be hanging Sarah on your every word.
Oh yeah, I'm already at it. I am
Yeah.
already at it.
Yeah, it's your turn
I've got the what I've done is I started, Derek, while you were waiting for me.
Yeah.
I started on the first image. This is what happens, you see. Because I can't think and talk at the same time. I'm going to see if you can get a little bit closer, you know, with that shot. I started on the first image, so I've already stamped it. I'll show you stamping a little bit later on in the show. And I've just got my TriBlends out, and I'm starting to do all of the colouring with them. So can you see I've got some different shades in there. Now, watch what we're going to do. For those of you who are brand new to this, let's colour that little girl. Do you know, I want to see if you can get even closer still. Because watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the dark red blend. And how all of these work, can you see within the pen, we've got the light, the medium and the dark shade on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, start off first of all with the very, very darkest one. So I'm just going around the tip. Now the TriBlends are brilliant because what they have is they've got, oh, there's a little there's a wagon on the run outside.
That's a big one, Sarah.
I don't know if you can hear it.
It's a big wagon, that one.
Yeah, it is quite loud, isn't it? So look, I'm going to take the first deepest shade, and I'm going to put it around the top of the hat. I'm going to put a little bit where we'd have it kind of underneath the hair there, and then on a dress it would be underneath her arm. Coming down from the middle part of the dress where you can see we've got that in. Again, underneath this part of the arm as well, there's another little shaded bit in there, and let's also put underneath the reindeer. Look how good it is when you've got the rotating. Look at this. Now, you'll not believe it, Derek.
Already?
Already got pictures coming in of people who've already downloaded the download and started the colouring.
That's amazing. Yeah, if you're on the download right now, because they are splendid images as well, they're really, really beautiful. So if you've got started on those, you want to drop us a picture, just send it to us right now, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. It's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those not so much talking, quite a lot of colouring kind of afternoons, I think, isn't it? But that's why we designed this show for this time of the week as well, because we all need a little bit of a wind down, don't we? A little bit of a treat, a little bit of time out, chat with friends, and a coffee. Oh, that's what I'm missing. I'm missing a coffee. We're both missing a brew, aren't we, Sarah?
That would have been perfect.
That's what's missing.
That would have been perfect. Well, you know, sometimes
need.
Joe goes off and pretends he's going to the toilet and really goes and makes himself a cup of tea.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because I happen to know your order as well.
Yes.
And I'm feeling like I didn't go before the show. Do you know what I mean? You know, like your mum used to say, do you know what? Go now, because you won't be able to later. We're not stopping along the way.
Look at this.
How many times did that happen when you were going on a long journey?
Go
now before we leave the house. We're not stopping on the way.
Can you see how I've got that perfect blend? Can you see how it looks like the light shining on the top of her hat here, and also the bottom of this? I'm going to get this blended a little bit more. All you do is you go over with the lightest colour, Derek, when you want to blend it a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So now I've got a real light bouncing off her dress there. Do you want me to show you how to do faces? Because that'll be quite new for you, won't it, right?
Yes.
Faces, you need the fair skin blend. And if you think about a face, Derek, a face is rounded. So what we're going to do is we're going to start around the outside of the face and put most of the colour around the outside. I'm going to wait till you're on the wide shot because I'm stood looking like a bit of an idiot waving at my face. I don't know, maybe our director's gone for a cup of tea. Maybe I can't get on the wide shot. I'm coming there, I'm there.
Envision.
So when you're doing a face, you want darkest shade around the outside. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go dark, medium, light on here, so the nose is light. But then anywhere where you've got any dark shadows, no, not bags under the eyes. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, like where you'd have it like under the nose, you'd put a little bit under the nose. So relating that to the picture, watch what we're going to do. We're going to come around the outside. So I've got the very darkest shade one here, which is the FS6, and I'm going to come round the outside, just like this, and bring this right in. Okay. So there's my outside piece. Then what we do is we come to the medium one. Oh, and remember I said under a nose as well, didn't I? So just under a nose where she'd have a little bit of shade.
So was that with the lightest one or the darkest one?
That was with the darkest one.
Darkest one, because I'm going to follow.
Little circles, all right, over the edge of the darkest one coming in. Now we do what's called preserving the highlight, which is where you leave a little bit of a gap in the middle, still white. And you see, so we've preserved the highlight in there, but I'm just doing little circular motions, Derek, all the way around. Then you come to the lightest one, and then you blend over the lightest one again. Now, if you don't leave enough of a highlight, don't worry, because these pens work back to front to how you would expect other pens to. You can keep going over with the lighter shade and it will bleach the darker one out. It's not like other colouring mediums or a watercolour medium whereby if you add the darkest colour, you can never take it back out. We actually do take it back out. So you can see there, I've just added all of that in. Oh, do you want a nice little tip as well? Should we make it out like she's got blue eyes?
Yeah.
What you do, if you want to give her blue eyes, come in with a blue, and then all you do is you just go around one side. So don't colour the whole of the eye in, just colour around a little bit of her eye, and it'll just give it a tiny little bit of a blue tinge. So let's have a look. We've done face, we've done eyes. Oh, do you want another little tip, right? If you ever want to look like, you know, like her fur, her collar is all white there, but you might want to look like it's actually got a bit of colour in, all you do is come in with one of your lighter shades. So I've got IG2, right? And I'm just going to put a couple of little bits of grey coming in from the edge. Can you see? A tiny little bit. And if you've got the blender pen as well from the from our Classiques, you could go over the edge of that with the blender pen too. It just makes it look like it's got a tiny little bit of colour on there. So I might come right along the top here. And then also, do you know, this is why this board's so brilliant, because they always say rotate your work, don't try and rotate your hand, right? So there we go. We've done a little bit of white there. We've done skin. Should we do the hair tone? So for the hair, I've got a little bit of tan. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come first, I'm going to do the other way around this time. I'm going to give it a little bit of colour. So I'm giving her an all over little bit of a tan. There we go. And when I say a little bit of a tan, I mean the tan colour, all right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with the darker shade, now it's a little bit wet, and just put in them streaks of hair. Can you see? So it looks a little bit more genuine like hair. Hope you're following all this, Derek.
I am.
With yours. Oh, he's
I
doing
am.
good then.
I
And I'm
am.
going to come in the dark and a little bit of the medium one. But I'm not going over and over in the little circular motions. I'm doing the little dots with the hair. So we've got the hair. Oh, she'll go and do her boots as well. So let's have a look. I'm going to go with the, right, I've got the ice grey shades and the ice grey blend. Oh, this is a brilliant segue for me to talk into this, Derek, right? So, ice grey shades is from your shades pack. Can I pinch your little
boards?
Little boards,
Of course
right?
you can.
So your ice grey shade, all of your shades are in the very, very first shade pack, thank you. Which if I show you it, is in this one here. So can you see? There's our all of your blends are in there, right? So ice grey blend, can we see here? Here's your ice grey blends. So it's the lightest of the greys, and you've got in your ice grey blend, that's your shade. In your ice grey blend, we've got 2, 4 and 5, right? Same with a lot of the other shades. Then if we look at our shades, can you see how the colours are darker? And if we look down on the bottom here, you've got ice grey shade as well. And if I put these two next to each other, you can see ice grey blend and ice grey shades, they're all the same colour, just this one's a lot darker than these. So actually in your ice grey shades, you've got 6, 8 and 9. So what you can do is, for example, I'm going to do her boots here. So I'm going to start with the very, very deep ones. So I'm going to come down the edge of her boots. So again, we want them to be very, very dark from one edge. So you bring in down one side like this. And then we're going to go from the dark, step it down to the next shade. So I'm stepping it down to the next one there. If you want to step it down to the next one, you can step it down to the next one again. And then if you want to go even lighter, you then step it down to the next pen. So can you see, you can mix between, as long as they're both ice grey, you can mix between the two ice greys and get a greater depth of colour. So can you see how it really looks like the light's bouncing off here? Because we've actually gone through 5 shades of grey there. And so a lot of the colours, and I can show you which ones they are, it's all these ones. Let me block this off. All these shades here at the bottom. I'll show you it to the other camera. These are all of the ones which have a greater depth of colour. So these are the 12 colours which have the extra shading. So coral, your dark reds, bright pinks, your tans, brown greys, golden brown, blue turquoise, jade green, your true blues, your pale pinks, your earth browns and your ice greys. The other 12 pens in that set are additional colours. So this is for example, there's no alpine green in the Essentials collection, and there's no antique pink or warm green or red brown. You've got an earth brown and a golden brown, but you've got the red brown, which is a completely different family of browns in this one. So that is the difference when people always ask me between the essential blends and the extra ones, which are the deep blends. If you're only going for one, just go for the essentials. But if you really are into this TriBlend colouring, you get both of the sets, and that's why we've got the special deal on all 48, and that's going to give you all of the 48 shades in the collection. So there's actually 24 plus 12, there's actually 36 colours, so 36 different colour families. 12 of them colour families have a depth of 6 colours, and the other 24, yep, have a depth of just 12 colours. That makes sense?
Yes, it does completely. And actually, the way all of this complements each other is just brilliant. So many with us right now on Facebook, on YouTube as well. Lots and lots of comments are coming in already. Mary says that the rotating design board is so much fun. Yeah, grab that while it is in stock right now. I wish I had one over here as well, because it just gives you that complete flexibility, doesn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Susan says, I've been waiting, seems like forever, for a rotating board. Yay, I got one. Happy dance. Brilliant. Well done, Susan. There's the details actually on the other side of the screen there, you can see. So $22.99, $16.19, which is really, really amazing, isn't it? Sarah also says, hello, Sarah and Derek. I'm back on my couch with a cuppa, enjoying this show. Really excited about Annabelle Spenceley stamps. I have the other set. They are gorgeous. And just relating to the other set, I've been asked in big capital letters to please ask you a question as to, and I'm just trying to find the question, whether you would commission Annabelle to make some boy stamps which complement the previous collection that she did. Sean actually asked on Facebook, could you please ask Sarah if she could ask Annabelle to do a collection of boy stamps to complement the previous collections.
Ah, it's a lovely shout. I will absolutely ask the question for you. There you go.
Oh, look at that.
And I'm just going, do you know, isn't it so relaxing though, Derek?
It really is. And you know, I hadn't done it on the show before, and I'm going to have to like do a little bit every now and again, and then, because otherwise I'm going to drift away. We can't have both of us drifting away, because we won't have a show then, will we? But it really is. You know, like I feel like I've got the table at the perfect height, because we had to get an extra cushion for the chair and whatever. I've got my TriBlends next to me, as well as all of the products as well. I've got my download with me. I've started colouring her in. I'm kind of getting there. I'm following you as well, and I'm following you on Facebook and on Twitter as well. Daisy says, I really love the stamps, especially the elf one, because now I can make a boy for my nephews. God's Desire for Me on YouTube says, got my TriBlends and I am loving them. Christine in upstate New York. Hello, Christine. How are you? She's asking, what colour was the red you just used, Sarah?
It was the dark red blend.
Dark red blend. Everyone's called Sarah or Sarah today, aren't they? Everybody on the comments and everything. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. Who else have we got?
Do you want me to give you a little tip, by the way, once I get to this stage?
Yeah.
Right? That looks okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it stand out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to that ice grey, right? I'm going to go with the middle shade. Let's just have a little look. So middle shade, and then I've got the lightest shade. No, I'll maybe go with the lightest one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way around the outside, Derek, with that lightest shade. Now this works brilliantly well if you do it with the lightest shade of one of the greys, or if you do it with the blue, and it just makes it really stand out.
Yes, because this pops the whole image, doesn't it? I think I saw Craig doing one of these the other day, and I was like, no,
a big fan of
something so simple as doing a line of grey around the outside of an image just really makes it pop. And actually, the more colourful it is, the more it pops as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Quick question. Well, actually, I've got two questions, actually. One of which I can answer. Anne on Facebook, she says, do we keep the downloads for a while? The best thing to do, Anne, because she's ordered some Nina and she's waiting for it to arrive, is you download it and it downloads as a PDF, so that then sits on your computer. So grab it now, download it as a PDF, keep it on your computer, and then you can do it. You can actually go back and download all of the past ones as well. Director Matt is just telling me, which is fantastic. Now, a question which comes up a few times is about which pens are and aren't refillable, Sarah. Elizabeth is asking, is the TriBlend refillable? She said she's not sure whether the answers she's heard have been they can or they can't.
They absolutely are. All the TriBlends are refillable. Yep.
And how do we achieve that, if that's not a silly question?
So, yeah, if you want to refill it, can you see all of these nibs lift out?
Ah,
so the nibs lift out, and then we do all of the refill colours, Derek.
Yeah.
So you would just squeeze a few drops of the refill colour into there, get you into the Transorb, and then you just replace that nib ever so gently.
Oh.
It's that easy.
Do you know, isn't that... I thought there was going to be a very, very complicated answer to that. Like,
Yep.
like there'll be a little screw somewhere, you need to undo that, and then you carefully lift that and get your bit and to pour this and pour that, and there'll be a kit for pouring it and all the rest of it. No.
Nice and easy.
No. Dead easy. Isn't this a brilliant price tag as well, to get all 48 of those TriBlends? Because, you know, they might be, you know, and they won't be, but they might be the only pens you'd ever need for colouring.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They won't be, because you know that there are so many other bits and pieces that we do that there's no way you'd be able to resist. Good point that Tatiana made, who was our guest last week on Colour Me Happy, is if you're going out and you're sketching, you only have to take a few key colours with you. It's not like you have to take a whole heap of different colours, is it?
Yep.
Like, you know, if you're doing a wildlife scene, you don't need to take like 50 green pencils out with you. You can take your key TriBlends and know that you've got, within each one of these, you've got 3, which is, and then the blending can be done on the go. It's so clever. So you've popped it now, Sarah. What are you doing next?
So what I'm doing is I'm just going to use one of the ink pads just to make this really stand out. So can you see I'm just doing a little bit of just adding colour around the outside, and I've gone with a nice bright blue shade. So this is like our Oasis from the Harmony Water Reactive ink pads. And I used one of our die sets that has the nesting shapes. So what I was able to do is I die cut this one at this size. So can you see she's looking pretty good? And then I die cut it at the slightly larger size in the gold as well. So that this will now matte and layer on top of this next one, and the gold will stand out. And then I'm going to do quite a simple card to show this off, Derek. So that will go onto there. Then my favourite type of card to do, and I'm an absolute sucker for these, okay, is the Z fold. So watch what I've done. I've already started getting this ready because the focus is more on the colouring today. So I've got the folded over card, can you see, with the fold back on it. And then I've got the second piece of that folded card with the fold back on it. And then what you do when you're doing a Z fold is this flips over and connects onto the front like that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to connect those on, Derek, and I've actually got some of the cardstock from the Nativity collection, just because I had this to hand. So I've just added this onto the back there, and I'm going to stick the whole card together, and then that won't be too bad. Half an hour in, and we've got our first colouring done.
I mean, it's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? And listen, you know, you can follow along with, there are so many tutorials, there are so many video resources here for the TriBlends. You'll have no problem whatsoever. And actually what I would say is we'll go through the complete stamp set again in just a minute when we finish this card. And I'll show you, because you will be able to press the pause button on the videos on some of the colouring that's already been done, and you'll be able to follow the shading with your TriBlends there, even on the ones that we don't see Sarah do in the show, and you'll get some really, really lovely ideas from that.
Good idea. Yeah, we'll go through all the card samples nice and slowly so that everybody can, like you say, you could open up this tutorial, but you could pause it on any one of the cards. That's what I always do.
It's what I'm doing. Well, it's what I'm doing to judge some of my colouring from the one that I'm doing right now.
Is that right?
Oh, you know. Clever boy. I'm listening to you as well, but obviously, because I'm novice speed, you know, you're more you're more the sports model, and I'm more the classic car.
It's not a race though.
No, it isn't.
I'm under pressure to get these done really fast because I want to get through a lot in the show.
Yes.
However, you're under no pressure at all to get through these at any sort of massive speed because you've got you can take yours home, finish yours over the weekend if you want. Bit of homework.
Oh, that's true.
So there you go. Look,
I do have
sparkle and shine. She's lovely. And do you know what? You watched me colour all of that live on the show. So it is there's no reason you couldn't watch this back and colour this exact image at exactly the same time. And I think she looks gorgeous. Right, should I have a little think what I'm going to get done next?
All right, I'll have a little, I'll show you what I've done so far. This will be my homework for the weekend. I'm thinking she's looking a little deep crimson in the face maybe, and I maybe need to do something with the
she looks a bit psychedelic in the face.
She does, but you know, like she's a bit fantasy figure.
Right,
well, she could be a bit troll-like, couldn't she? Anyway,
I see where we've gone with that.
Listen, we'll go in a direction with that. See, that's the thing, isn't it? I'm taking baby steps, so you can do that in many different directions as you like. Right, let me show you. We've got the little boards here, which is brilliant because it shows you the stamps, but it also shows you a representation of them being coloured as well. So what you could do with that is you can just get some judging of colours and how that shading works with your TriBlends as well. And you can actually use that as a bit of a guide to sort of judge, because whatever colour you choose, you can see, you know, right the way across the top there where the light would come in, you've got the lighter shade there, and then as it goes further down, that lovely sort of velvety pom-pom hat or sort of, you know, winter hat that she has on, it gets darker and darker and darker. So you can use that as a little bit of a tool. But so many of you are going for the complete set. I'm not surprised because it is, remember, 8 sets of stamps. I mean, that's really amazing value for £35, $45 anyway, let alone this being such talented artists. There's such gentility in these images as well. So let's go through them. We've got Enjoy the Festivities, which is the first one, which is the little skating scene with the holly and the gifts, and remember the sentiment stamps are in there. In total, we're looking at over 95 different stamps in this set. And remember, the bundle does come with the Nina white solar card as well, which is brilliant, which is perfect for colouring with your TriBlends. So then you've got your Twinkle Twinkle, and I love this because she's got that look like she's dancing, hasn't she? She's dancing. I'm decorating the house, ready for the holidays, and I'm dancing around while I do it as well. I love the extra decorations, the lovely twinkly lights there. It's brilliant, isn't it? I'm so glad we've got these boards where they're coloured in as well, because you can get a real better idea of what you can do with this stamp set. Here's number 3, which is Oh What Fun. Again, he looks like a cheeky little one, doesn't he? He looks like a cheeky little one. He looks like me. He looks like me and the way I used to be. You know that little glint in your eye that says, you know you shouldn't, but you will? It's one of those, isn't it? I have to get my elf outfit out for nearer to the holiday season. That would be amazing. So, Oh What Fun. Then we move on to Making Spirits Bright. Again, this is quite traditional. I like the way that this is the composition of this one, especially the feature image. Remember, all of these are separate stamp elements, as you can see on the stamp sheet. But I really like how sort of traditional, almost Victorian looking she is. Very, very sort of innocent, holding the little lantern there. It's really sweet, isn't it? Then we've got Hello Winter, which is the one that Sarah was just colouring in there with the reindeer, giving the reindeer a big cuddle. Oh, do you know what that? Again, you know, this morning, the giftables box, you know how every time you see a bit of a fur on the bottom of a reindeer now, you're going to think of Santa's beard, aren't you? Every single time, because the two are interchangeable, which I think is really, really good. So that's Hello Winter. We've also got From Our House to Yours, which is all about the decorating of the tree. She must be tall. Is either that's a very small tree or she's very tall, one way or the other. Because most people can't reach to put the star up, can they? Then you've got Merry and Bright, which is really, really angelic there with the little candles there, which I love. And then we have got Happy Holidays, which I think is the sweetest. It's like a little Christmas love story, that one, Sarah, isn't it? It's beautiful.
Oh, they look. Do you want me to show you? Because I've got some lovely samples of them actually.
Please.
So I've got the lovely ones over here that I want to call it coloured. Okay, so that is the one that you were looking at there. honestly, you don't need to do an awful lot. They're so beautiful to colour. This is the whole feel with the Annabelle Spenceley designs. Annabelle is a really well-known artist within the stamping community. So what she's done is, a lot of people who are really big in the stamping community, people love to get these, they just love images to colour. The enjoyment doesn't have to be from anything fancy, from doing the actual colouring. So she does things like lovely big hair pieces so that you've got the challenge of colouring the hair, or the dress where there's opportunity for you to do loads of big depth and colour under there. I'm going to colour her later for you. Or just little fun designs to colour. Who was it who wrote in and said they loved the little elf? I did him on HSN the other day. He is lovely to do, and I love this idea with the aperture on the front, so you've got that little aperture design to work with. The one that you just saw me colour, this one here as well, I think that's a beautiful design for you to be working with. And then actually, and I'll try and colour this one as well later, I love to do the designs where it's a lot of deep red. The reds, I don't know what it is, Derek, but reds are fabulous to colour with. They're very, very rich and it's brilliant. Just if you want to practice, reds are a great colour for you to practice with. A lot of people feel frightened to colour with red, but it's actually beautiful colours to colour with. So you've got to get working on the reds. And I'm actually going to do the one where she's ice skating next, because I didn't have one of those up here. So I'm going to get ready for that one, ready to do some stamping. But I believe we've had some pictures in there from some of our viewers.
We have. I'm going to come and get some reds from you in a moment, because I haven't got any of my little selection over here, so I'll come and get some in a minute. Yes, we've got some pictures from you. I think we are going to Cynthia's picture first, and this is Jocelyn, who's holding up the picture of the colouring.
Oh, and lovely. We needed a close-up, didn't we? Look at me in the camera. That's what we call an awesome telfie with us. And I'm liking that you've got us on the big telly. Let us know in the comments if you're watching us on the big telly. I want to know how awesome these images looking like on a 72-inch plasma.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Jocelyn, as well. Let's go to Kathy now. Oh, how cute. Now this is, and this is the download. This is the download.
She's done the reds. They are
very,
beautiful.
very different to my, although she's got blue eyes now. Mine's got blue eyes now. Oh, I followed Kathy, actually. I think we're using the same blue, Kathy. Oh. I think I'm using, what am I using? I was using the mid, the AB2, which is the aqua.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice, the aqua
because I thought that was good for blue eyes. Thank you so much, Kathy. Let's go to Anita's now.
Oh, Anita's had a whole set delivered.
Oh.
And now, Anita, you've had fun. I can see that a mile off. She's enjoyed colouring all of them. Anita, let us know in the comments, what are they like to colour with? You've got to let us know. I found them an absolute dream to colour with, but I think it would be even nicer to hear from one of our viewers how you found them to colour in, because it sounds to me like, I mean, you can only have had them a day or two, but yeah, fabulous.
Yeah, if you've got yours, then please do let us know. I mean, everyone's absolutely loving these. I mean, they're so popular. I'm not surprised either, because again, it's the fun. They're almost slightly traditional images, but they're great fun. And of course, you've got the power to colour them every which way that you want to. Of course, as well, Sarah has really pulled off something massive today as well by getting the large rotating design board back in as well. I didn't even know about this before the show.
Oh, it's fabulous. Have we still got them? No, they haven't all gone yet, producer Johnny, yet, have they?
Still there. Just about hanging on. $22.99, $16.19, and this is the large one. So is it the large one that you've got there, Sarah?
No, so that one's 12 by 12, 12 and a half really, because it fits a 12 by 12 sheet. The one I've got is the 9 by 12. I bought the little one. I'm kind of wishing I'd got the bigger one now,
but that's
we didn't have the bigger one in stock. No, it's not little. It's still nice and big. And actually, I'm going to be working on and the idea is, you see, you've got this lovely clip. It doesn't have to be at the top. The clip comes off, and you can put the clip anywhere you want. You see, and it rotates because you've got the two pieces together, so that you can always be rotating as you're colouring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off. I'm going to stamp the lovely girl with the ice skates on. So I'm going to stamp her, and then I can rotate as I'm colouring. Now, all of these stamps, I need to tell you, are photopolymer stamps. So the photopolymers are wonderful because, and this might be new to you, Derek, we do photopolymer stamps, and we do clear acrylic stamps. And when it comes to designs that are quite intricate like this, you really want a photopolymer stamp so you get a nice crisp image. It's a little bit like when we used to do stamps in made out of traditional unmounted rubber. We used to like to do them in rubber because you could get a much more detailed image than you could from a clear stamp. So think of the photopolymer ones almost like your rubber stamps, as opposed to thinking of them like acrylic stamps, even though they are clear as well. Let's have a little look. I'm going to take her there and I'm going to pop her down. Again, I've just done a die cut, nice and simple die cut circle. Now, really importantly, oh look, I've missed a tiny little bit there. Really importantly, I've used the Noir Black alcohol proof dye. Now, that is really important to know because we're going to be colouring with our alcohol pens. You must use the alcohol proof dye because it's the opposite. So this doesn't have any alcohol in it, so that when you use the alcohol pens, it doesn't smudge. If you were to use like a waterproof dye, ironically, the waterproof dye is made out of an alcohol base, and what happens when you put the alcohol pens on, then it smudges it. If you were to use these ink pads with like a watercolour, you'll see it'll just run because it is a watercolour base. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've stamped that and we're going to start and do some colouring, Derek.
Okie dokie. Oh, I forgot to come and get the red as well. I'm trying now to lift the pink in my girl, but I'm not sure how it's working, so she might be a little bit more fantasy figure, although I'll come and get a red and then I can nod her back to sort of Christmas. Although, yeah, no, because she's holding her cat, isn't she? And yeah, the cat's got a little hat on as well.
Do you want me to show you skin tones again? Should we start on her skin and I'll show you it again, how we're going to do it?
Yes, please.
Right.
And which ones you use as well?
Right.
Christine wondered as well.
I'm using for the skin tone the fair skin. So it's the FS, Fair Skin Blend, right? So we're going to start with the darkest one. So you've got FS 8, 7 and 6 in this set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start around the outside with the deepest one. All right, so there is my fair skin coming around the outside, and I also like to bring it quite a way down the bottom and underneath her hat, because that's where she'd have shadow. And then you can bring a little bit under her nose where she would have a little bit of, where there would be a little bit of a shadow. Then you come to the middle pen and you're just doing little circular motions over the end of where the last one finished. And you see, so you're just coming over the end of where the last one, but you're leaving a white bit in the centre, which is called preserving the highlight. And then we come over the highlight with the very lightest one. You can even, if you wanted it to be really pale, you could even leave a little bit of white in there. A lot of people do that and preserve a whole highlight in the centre. I always like to have it totally blended out. And if she's like that and you think, oh, do you know what she could do with a bit of blusher, a little bit of cheek on? Look what I'm doing. I'm getting her nice and wet. I'm getting a lot really alcoholed up, right? Loads of alcohol on there. And then come with one of your PPs. So the PPs are the pale pinks. And I'm going to come with the very lightest one, PP1. And I'm just going to put it on like it was blusher coming from the edge. There's PP1. Maybe it's come with a slightly more mid shade, bit of PP2 in there. And then I'm going to put it down, coming down this side as well. And that just, you can't see it at the moment, but wait till the alcohol evaporates so that it's not wet. And what you'll end up with is you'll end up with all of the alcohol evaporating and you'll be left with just a little bit of the shade. And then remember what I said, the tip that I gave you on the last one about the eyes. So I'm going to use a bit of aqua blue on this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with like a medium shade and just not colour the whole thing in, but just put a little tint of blue down the side of her eyes. And if you end up putting too much in, just go and get yourself your blender pen out. So either your blender in your Illustrator or your blender in your Spectrum Noirs, and you can just flush it through, but just leaves a tiny little bit of colour.
Oh,
so there's the eye, and you can see do you want me to do the zoom? Are you ready for the zoom?
Yeah.
Zoom.
Ooh.
So can you see the cheek? You're starting to see the little bit of shade in the cheek there. That's just because as the alcohol's evaporating, you're starting to get a little bit of the cheek going in.
And the thing is, you can watch it happening and developing before your very eyes, can't you? That's the thing. It's fantastic. And also put another piece of something under your work as well as the best thing to do, because of course you'll be able to get the bleed through, which I haven't, so I hope I'm not going to get told off by
well, it's not just about the bleed through. The other great thing about putting a little piece underneath your work is that actually it helps the colour move a little bit easier.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's quite a good tip. Now look what I'm doing. I'm coming down her hair here, and I'm coming down, so she's got a little plait in, so I'm coming down the top of each one of the little pieces. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to come into the middle one. So I'm going to come, and I'm on with my tan shades here. So if I wanted to go even lighter, bear in mind I could drop down to my tan blend. And then I'm bringing just a little bit in of the tan shade. And then I'm going to come to the very, very lightest one and blend that right out. And you can always, if you want to give it a little bit more blend, you can always go over in a little bit more depth. So I'm going over here, which makes her whole plait look very three-dimensional. Now don't panic if you end up going out of the lines a tiny little bit, because we're going to capture that by going around the outside again. All right, now let's have a little look. What I'm going to do, Derek, is I'm going to start on a coat, and I'm going to, so let's have a look for a coat. I think I'm going to go with I've got the blue turquoises and I've got the ice blues. So I'm going to mix the two. I think I'm going to go with blue turquoise on a little hat and everything. And all I'm doing, because you can watch me while you give everybody updates and all the proper job stuff that you need to do. I'm just going to come with the darkest shade always. So I'm putting the dark one down. And one of the tips I can give you is, when I first started, I never put enough of the darkest shade, and I was always frightened of the dark one. So put plenty of the dark one in. And I'm also going to come down the edge here with a little bit of the dark one. Then come to the medium one, and the medium one, this is why you need to put plenty of the dark one, because you're coming over the edge of the medium one, right?
Yeah,
and actually you're bleaching out some of your dark shade.
Yeah.
Then you come in with the very, very lightest one and just blend all over it there and give it, and that's what gives it that little bit of light around the top. Isn't that lovely?
Oh,
so I'm going to do the same on the rest of her coat.
That's brilliant. I really, really love that watch. You were asking about people watching on the big TV as well. Hannah's watching. Hannah's in the Lake District, aren't you? If I remember right, Hannah. She's got 75 inches. 75 inch. Now that's big. I thought I've got a 55 at home, and when it first got it, we were like, oh blimey, it's like we're suddenly in a cinema. So we were like sitting, we moved the couch right the way back. We kind of you get used to it, don't you? You know, eventually. But 75 inches. How big is the room? I bet we look
good, do we, on 75 inches, me and Derek?
I hope so. I feel like I need to go and redo my makeup now if you're watching on 75 inches. Mind you, I'm only in the little box. It's Sarah's there on full display there. All right.
My makeup's good today.
Oh,
we did it obviously ready for loose women. So I'm fine. I'm happy for you to look at me up close today. Maybe it's not other days, but I'm HD ready today.
Did you catch Sarah on Loose Women earlier? It was great fun. We were all watching in the office. It was brilliant. Eleanor says, I love Annabelle's stamps. She really has come up with some pretty ones. I have all of her other sets. Fell in love with them as soon as I got them in my hand. She says, I really love the photopolymer stamps. The first time I used one, I couldn't believe how great it stamped out. It was perfect. Well, that's the secret, isn't it, of photopolymer, giving you that extra detail. And there is an awful lot of detail right the way through all of these stamps as well, actually. Cindy says, absolutely love these stamps. Lauren is saying, what size are the full-size easy mount acrylic storage panels, please?
9 by 12.
Thank you very much. I knew you'd know that off the top of your head, Sarah.
Off the top of my head.
Knew you would know that. Let's talk TriBlends, shall we? TriBlends, we've got the 48 marker collection there. Might have to show you a still of that, actually, because Sarah's got the boards at the moment, but it shows you all of the different colours and all of the different blends as well. And there are no repeats between the two. It is that your dark, is it dark blends, the second set? Deep blends, I beg your pardon. They're the ones with that richer, more intense colour, so that you can step down in those colour families as you were talking about earlier, Sarah, which is really, really good. So let me just show you through those. We'll start with the essential, shall we? And you're going to get both packs in this deal. And the saving on this, sorry, I have so many bits and pieces around today. The saving on this is over 20%. So, I mean, if you're thinking of building up your collection and you want to be one of those people that build it up quick, well, that's 48 in one go, isn't it? Which is actually 48 times 3 if you think about it, with the 3 different shades in every single one, and the possibilities and are far beyond that as well. So £125, $190 for this one, 20% saving of course, and that would awesomely bump up your Club Inspire points as well, wouldn't it? Which is wonderful. And aren't they beautiful colours as well? I know we're talking Christmas colouring right now, but look at that. You've got everything you need for Christmas and seasonal, for summer, for spring, and everything in between. And I love those skin blends as well. I think they're really, really good and really, really versatile. And actually, I'm quite glad that I made a bit of a rookie error when I was colouring in the face of the download, because I went for a colour too dark. And I should have gone much lighter than my instincts took me. So that's good, because that's the 7-year-old boy colouring head talking, when actually these are professional artists' pens that blend in 3 different ways. Gone are the days where if you did a tree, that the leaves would all be one green and the trunk would be one brown, and thank you very much, there is my tree. Gone are those days. I mean, look at how far Sarah's got with this now. Look at the shading on this, on the hat and on the scarf and on her beautiful jacket there. Isn't that amazing?
Do you know, even my 6-year-old now only does blending. Honestly,
that's awesome,
he
isn't it?
only does blending, because I always say to him, why would you colour it normally, son, if you can colour it and make it look that professional? And he's just got in the habit of blending everything, and I'm so proud of him. He always uses the TriBlend, because if I had to try and explain to him about blending in the colours in the same colour family and everything, honestly, I think I'd take the fun out of colouring in.
Yes.
Whereas because we did it, and for him it was, we were doing it for fun, and it was really easy for him to just pick up, and I'd say, look, you can use the 3 different shades in the same one. All of a sudden I've made advanced colouring in pretty fun. So you want to see how 3-dimensional Hulk looks when I have to print him out from the computer. And how Oliver does a bit of shading with the Hulk as well. He looks great. Do you know, I'm nearly done on there. Look what I'm just going to do. I've got a little bit, I've got my silver metallic marker, and I'm going to give the bottoms of those ice skates, the metallic markers will be a brilliant addition to this collection, by the way. Watch. I'm going to do the bottom of the ice skates with the metallic marker, Derek. And then I'm also going to use, you know how I talked about putting a little bit of grey on her head?
Yeah.
Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in with the very lightest shade again, which is IG2, and just put a little bit round there. And you can bring a little bit round the edges. It's so much easier when you're able to just turn this.
So that's just giving those sort of fluffy trims and everything, just giving them that bit more texture.
And then if you want to blend it out, look, I'm just using the Illustrator. You can go and buy yourself an Illustrator pen.
Yeah.
That's just the blender. Just buy the Illustrator blender, and it just means you can get like a bit of blending going on across there, and it does make such a huge difference. Same with this bit here. I'm just going to do a tiny little bit around there, but give it a nice bit of a blend out. And then to make her glisten a little bit, I've got my clear sparkle pen, and I'm just going to go all over those white bits with clear sparkle pen as well, and just make her look really, really wintry. She looks amazing.
It's brilliant, isn't it? And listen, and it does take those wonderful images, because if you don't consider yourself to be an artist, so if you couldn't draw, in the first place, I mean, this just puts the power of an artist right in your hands, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you can colour it whichever way you want to,
and that's the beauty of it. You can literally pick it up, and you don't have to be able to draw it for it to look great. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same again around the outside, but I'm going to use the aqua blue this time. So it's a different shade. I use the blue turquoise and the true blues on her there, but I'm going to use the aqua blue to go around the outside, just again to give it that little bit of a pop, Derek.
So you could use any colour that was related to the image that you were colouring in, would you say?
Yeah.
Because it always works on the grey. Grey goes with everything. It's kind of like your monochrome. That's always going to work, the grey, unless you're going around a cloud, which happens to be grey. That's really not going to work as well. But with an image like this, you can take any sort of relevant colour, can you?
You can.
And that will just...
And what I would say as well is,
lift
if you are not the best at always being in the lines, right? Which I can tell you I'm not. Because I go so fast, I haven't got the patience to do it slowly.
So does that bring you back into order?
This totally lets you get away with it.
Oh, I'm loving
because
that.
Anywhere where you've gone out of the lines, as long as you've got your other sheet behind, it just pushes the extra shading through.
Yeah.
And then look at this. It totally lets you get away with absolutely anything.
It does make a big difference.
Yeah, I went out the lines a little bit there on the boot. You would never know.
No.
And trust me, when I'm finished this, I'm going to take it right up close to the close-up camera.
Yeah.
Because I'm confident enough that I know it's going to look perfect, even though I've gone out there a little bit out the lines there. You're not going to see it when I come round here. I love all the little cheats. That's my favourite part of the job, sharing all my cheats with everyone.
It's brilliant. It really is, because it gives us permission to do them as well. Because you make the slightest mistake, you might be tempted to ditch the whole thing. No,
Lovely.
There'll be a way.
Close-up one. So there she is, and again she looks. Can you see now what I was saying about her cheeks?
Yeah.
So her cheeks look absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, you can almost see the temperature from her
coming
cheeks,
out.
can't you? Yeah. How
it
rosy
does look
they
great,
are.
doesn't it? And I'm going to do the same trick again with a little bit of that oasis just around the outside. It just takes the stark white off the edge of the paper. And if you didn't have any of the ink pads, you could just do this. You could go right around the outside with one of your pens if you wanted. I like this because it's a little bit subtle and softer. And I've got a super, super simple card with this one. So watch, all I've got is I've got her looking fantastic. I'm going to mount her onto a little bit of glitter card. So she's going to look brilliant. This is, by the way, how it should be. When you go around the outside, you should get all of the colour coming through. People sometimes worry that that's not right. Mm-hmm. That's what you want, because it's the special type of paper which gives you the perfect blend on there. So we've got that, and then just to keep the card nice and simple, again, I had the nativity collection out, the nativity paper pad when we were getting ready, and it just works beautiful with these. So we can take this. This one will go on the inside here, and I just felt like the turquoises worked really, really well together. And then the same with this one here. So we just take a little bit of the shade. Oh, are you right at the end? Yes, you are. Luckily, we've got the tape pens back in stock now, Derek. So I don't have a little bit of a fear of dread every time every time we run out of a tape pen.
Yeah, thank heavens. We're all very pleased about that as well, because what happens is if one person's using a tape pen here, what was happening until they came back in, is anyone who had one and was using it, everyone else was keeping a bit of a sly eye on them, just to keep track of where that tape pen went. Just everyone chasing the same one.
Everybody was chasing everybody else's tape pens. Absolutely right.
Yeah,
right.
Joe and I have them squirreled away in the strangest of places.
There you go. How gorgeous is that card? And again, keep the card simple, because the colouring does all of the talking, and the way the light's bouncing off the top of her hat up there, and the way she's got the rosy cheeks and she's got that glow about her, and the scarf looks 3D. It's all done with those pens.
Let me show you some other samples from
I'll get ready for the next
this
one.
collection as well, and then we'll see some more, because I want to show you some other bits and pieces as well. This is wonderful. I'm going to show you one of each of the stamp sets. This is one by our lovely Rachel. So that's the one that Sarah was just doing there, which is rather cute, isn't it? Just gives you some other inspiration, some other different ideas as well. And then we've got, this is the one where she's decorating the tree. This is the one called Twinkle Twinkle, which again is really, really lovely. And again, that's great fun. I mean, you could set that in a scene with the tree and everything else, couldn't you? Here's a cheeky little one. Look at this. Oh, sorry, there we go. This is by lovely Maria. So bringing you some Christmas cheer. What a cheeky little one he is. And then, look, Check that out. I love again that shading contrast in her dress there and her outfit, which you could make lots and lots of different colours in lots and lots of different ways. Look at that versus the colour of her hair. It's like, whoa, it's really nice. It really does make the image pop, doesn't it? I love this sample, I have to say. Again, it's one of our lovely Rachel's, which is beautiful. This is the Hello Winter one. So cute, isn't it? And again, that use of red and then using in the matting and layering some red and white stripes, almost an sort of Breton stripe in the background has worked really, really nicely there, hasn't it? And then I love this one, reaching for the top of the tree and putting the star on the tree. And I love that stenciling in the background. That's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? It really makes the whole image pop. And you can see on this one that Lucinda has stamped out some more of the little gifts and presents, and she put some foam pads on some of them just to give it a little bit of extra dimension as well, which is really, really sweet. How angelic is that? Isn't it amazing? It is beautiful. Love, love, love that. Stunning. And then one more, which is, I think it's all of our favourites, I think, this one, because I think it's all about a little Christmas love story, this one, isn't it? From me to you. I mean, there's no simpler image, is there? Just the lovely sort of snowflakes there in the background. Love this sample from Cheryl. It's beautiful. It's just very, very simple, gorgeous colouring, really, really nice. It matches beautifully. Love her here. It's wonderful. Now, we do have another one of Annabelle's collections that has been previously launched here at Crafter's Companion to have a little look at right now. And these, again, are awesome as well. I think this is the one we had some comments earlier to ask Annabelle to commission some boy stamps to go with these. Aren't they fun? And they come with really, really fun stamps as well. So there's Born to Shop, which is a little lady with attitude there with lots of fun sentiments. Whoever says money can't buy happiness doesn't know where to shop, and others like that. You've also got Enjoy the Adventure, which is the girl there on the swing. And that's got things like Start Each Day with a Grateful Heart, and Sugar and Spice. Then you've got All Dressed Up, which is, you know, again, the girl about town. It's the one on the top left there with the purple dress. That's got Birthday Girl and All Dressed Up and Ready to Go and lots more. Then you've got Love You This Much, which is the girl there holding her very, very big hot chocolate, which is like half the size of her. With one of the stamps there says, hot chocolate warms the heart. Too true. Then you've got Lovely Lady, which is, yes, very elegant lady there in the bottom right hand corner, all dressed up with somewhere to go by the looks of it, to my beautiful friend on her birthday. And then we have got Birthday Cheers, which is all about the, she's a cheerleader. See the one in the middle at the bottom? And it's all about party, party, party. So she's a girl about town. £21.55, $30.19. Now, listen, we've got a big weekend coming up. I can't wait for it. I'm going to be spending the weekend with you, which is brilliant, and with this gorgeous lady.
Join me, Debbie Robinson, on Crafters TV Sunday the 16th of August at 11 a.m. for our launch day show. I will be bringing to you a brand new launch of the Gemini Santa's Kitchen Collection. These cute stamp and dies are not to be missed, and there is also an amazing 12 by 12 paper pad to add to your collection. So come along, join us on Crafters TV, 16th of August, 11 a.m. See you there.
Thank you, lovely Debbie, and I'll give you a little sneaky peek at the end of the show as to what we will be doing tomorrow as well, because we've got lots going on right the way across the weekend. It's going to be a very, very busy one as well. In fact, every day's busy, Sarah, isn't it, here at Crafters TV?
Oh, you'll learn, Jerry.
I love it.
The more time you spend with me, the busier you'll get. I drive my stuff round the bend.
I love it. I love it. Everything to love. Right, what are we doing next?
Brilliant. Right, I thought we would take another in-depth look at the two different TriBlend packs. So you've got the boards over there. You're going to have to bring me them.
Yeah, do you want them back?
Who would do it? It's up and down,
it's
up and
like
down.
It's like a relay race today, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? So I'm going to stamp. Apparently, Derek said he was happy that he got to sit down today.
Yeah, maybe I should just give that up and stand up.
Yeah, totally. So I'm going to work on this this girl with the little girl's dress, and I'm going to give you some hints and tips on really adding more depth of shade. And we're also going to look at something on hair tones, right? So I'm going to do both of that in this one here. And what I would say is, right, if you are going to do your Perfect. Let me just get this over
Okay,
here.
while you're doing that very quickly, Sarah,
right.
I will just
Yep.
quickly correct something that came up earlier. Actually, Sarah's causing chaos, you see, today, by getting the large rotating design board in, because it literally only landed with us. Was it yesterday or something?
That
so we
looks
had to
right, that
really
price now.
quickly build some graphics. So it had the amount wrong on our TV graphics in dollars. So it's $22.99 in the UK, $27.29 on that one. But that would be the price that went through on the website. Regardless of that little typo on our screens here on Crafters TV, over half the stock has already sold.
Half the way through the show, half the stock. I did tell you, Derek, that wouldn't last the show. That also doesn't count all the... I would hazard a guess now, there will be more people with that in their basket than what we have stock available.
Yeah.
So if you are someone new adding it to your basket, go and check it straight out. If you're sitting with it in your basket, you've got to check it out. And once we get to half the stock, that's when people start panic buying. So I'll get Derek to keep you up to date.
Yes, and of course, if it's sold out and it's sitting in your basket and you try and check out, you can't check out because you can't check out with the sold out item. So you know what? You owe it to yourself. Make your life a little bit easier and grab it right now, because actually, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that for papercraft. I've seen it in the fabric world for cutting boards, but I haven't seen it in the papercraft world before.
She's a clever one. Our Tiffany designed it, and look what I'm going to do here, right? So when I'm wanting to work on the rotating cutting board, all I do is use my dotty tape pen, and I just put a couple of little bits on the corner so that I can pop that right in the middle. And I'm using it on a piece of knitting, so now I can go and rotate and be ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start first of all with her dress. Now, with her dress, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pale pink, right? So what you get is, in your regular, let me just show you back at the starter packs, okay? So in the essential blends, and I'll show this to the frontward camera so that you can see it really well. In the essentials, these are the shades you get. So can you see, I'm going to use the pale pinks, which are down here. So I've got what are the colours? 1, 2 and 3. So you've got pale pink 1, 2 and 3. But then look what happens when you go for the deep blends. And can you see, you've then got the pale pink, this one down here, but this is pale pink shade. So this one's up here is pale pink blend. And in pale pink shade, you then have 4, 5 and 6. So then what we can do is we can step down from really deep, so we can start with the 6, step it all the way down to the 1. So we can use the 2 pens together. So this is when you're getting really advanced with your colouring, okay? So let me just show you. Let's have a look. I'll do the top part of her dress with just the 3 shades. So if you just went for the essentials, this is what you're going to do. You're going to start at the top here with the darkest one. So underneath her hair, and you're going to put in the very, very dark shade here, the PP3. Then we're going to step it down to PP2. Then we're going to go all around here with PP2. And then we're going to step it right down to PP1, which is your palest one. And we're going to have that lightest PP1 on there as well. Can you see? And then you can always take the PP1 back up to help you blend it all. Now watch what happens if we want to go even darker still. So on the underneath part, I'm going to come with, actually I'm not going to start with 6, I'm going to start with 5. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with PP5 and I'm going to come under here knowing that it's exactly the same shade, right? So there is my PP5 that comes along under there. Then you step it down to the PP4. So I'm just stepping down, and what you do is you just colour a little bit thinner over the edge, Derek, so that it's not quite as, because we're stepping down more colours, you're going to colour less. Then we're going to come down 3, 2, 1. So that 4 blends perfectly into 3, 3 comes into 2, 2 comes into 1, and it's all starting to blend fabulously well. You see, you'll get the gist, and I love it because I like to, and this sounds a little bit, you're all going to laugh when I say this, I like to show off with me colouring a little bit, right? I really, really like colouring in, and I really like it when I've got this perfect blend and a really, really big depth of the colour, because I think it looks like I'm really, really good at colouring in, because you can't see where the one, look, that just looks like shading under there. How much better does the bottom half of her dress look, Derek, than the top half of her dress?
Oh,
and don't
gosh.
worry, because what you can do is you can come back in, even though we've already coloured that top one, I'm going to come back in with the middle one. So we're leaving the dark. I'm going to come down with this one here. Can you see? So now if I bring this in, I'm putting the darkest one in, and I'm also going to bring it in where we've got that little dark bit on there. All right. So I'm going to bring that. So there's my dark one added in. Then I'm going to come to the middle one. So this is coming down to number 4, and I'm just going over. And what you'll find is, Derek, it's easier to blend. It's easier to blend because you've already got a base of the alcohol there, right? So I'm just going to blend this right out, going right over the edge there. Then I'm going to step it back down to 3. And at 3 is really as low as we should need to step it because we're colouring back in. Maybe take it down a little bit further, but that there now we go back all over the top. And Leanne used to go mad with me when she first taught me to colour in because I would go over and over. See, I've bleached that too much. I would go over and over and over it until I'd bleached it too much, and then I'd have to go back in and add more shade. And she'd say, "You're doing too much. You're doing too much." But I love the shaded effect. So I always used to like to keep going. And what you can do is you can go over it as much as you want. And she did always give me a bit of good advice and say, if I wasn't happy with it, don't keep going over it. Leave it for a little bit. And I can come back to it a little bit later. Now, I don't know if you can see, but can you see? I went out the lines here. Can you see that? Just tiny little bit out the lines.
Yeah.
Right? So what you can do is if you want to get rid of it, you can come in with your blender pen or whatever shade's going to go in there, and I can push it, right? Which sounds ridiculous. I can push it back into the line. And all you do by going over top of it, you essentially, it's like it rubs it out. So I don't know if you can see that there now, but that's completely obliterated that.
That's genius,
totally
isn't it?
Gone. So that's if you go out the lines. And the reason I saved the very deep one is I'm going to come in with the deep one underneath here now, so you get real contrast of colour. And can I just say, I am totally lost in my own little world now, Derek.
Oh, I'll give you a quick update while you wander off into colouring coma land. And the rotating board, no surprise whatsoever. We've now gone from over half the stock to 2/3.
Yep, told you that would happen, didn't we?
Sold out and gone. And we are not 2/3 of the way through the show, so it looks like it is going to sell out before the end of the show. If you do have it in your basket, and again, Sarah's right, we've probably got so many that are sitting in baskets as you're making your minds up and you're adding other bits and pieces. And I'll have a little bit of Centura Pearl, a little bit of glitter card, and a little bit of something from earlier on in the day. And it's sat there in your basket if you want it. Today's the day to absolutely make it yours there as well. So it's 12 by 12, that one, isn't it? 12 and a half. That's right, because a 12 by 12 paper will go onto the top. There as well. Do you know what? Actually, if I do get a chance, Sarah, when you finish this next demo, I wouldn't mind stealing it just so I can look at the construction of it as well. But just to look at the construction and show people, because it looks very sturdy as well. Because I'm a boy, we like to take things apart almost and see how they work.
Right, listen, I'm going to let you have it because I think if I don't do it now, it's going to sell out. I will bring it to you, Derek.
Oh, you're so kind.
Save you walking. I will come all the way over to you and you can have a look at the sturdy construction of said design board.
Thank you, Sarah.
I'll get on and colour some skin in while you're doing that.
I'm feeling, Director Matt, like this chair is not staying for the whole show, I think. I think as soon as I've shown you this and we go back to Sarah, I think we'll reposition everything. So I love this because to me it looked like a bit of a clipboard to start with. And I wasn't sure whether that clip was secured in one place, but no. So you can move it right the way around, which is really, really good. In the centre, I love the way this is put together. So it's two really, really, really tough, heavyweight kind of, I don't know what exactly that's sort of constructed of, whether it's a board, like a laminated board or something like that. But that is absolutely strong as houses. I don't know, can you see in the sandwich in the middle there, it's a series of engineered ball bearings. Which is really, really good. So that keeps that nice smooth movement. So it's not like every time you touch it, you easily sort of slip and run away. It means it's a controlled movement. But it means that when you've got this down and you're doing your colouring or whatever, yes, it is like a lazy Susan. They're absolutely brilliant. When you're doing your colouring, when you need to change to a different angle, you just do that. And if you need to secure your work to it, that clip there, that doesn't sort of inhibit at all, which I think is really, really good. It just sort of keeps everything nice and secure. And they're a devil to get hold of on their own as well, actually. So it's a good job one comes with your board as well. So do grab that as quickly as you possibly can. Again, it's another one of those things, and I keep saying it here at Crafters Companion, it's one of those things you only ever need to buy once. And every time it comes in, it goes out as quick. We're looking at how much stock now, Johnny, did you say? 3/4 of the stock. This came in yesterday. It's going out before the end of the show. I'm just telling you that. Right, okay, we'll go back to Sarah and I'll lose my chair because I think I've done enough sitting down for today, Sarah.
That sounds he's on a mission now, isn't he?
That's it.
Right, so I promise I haven't done anything like... all I've done is coloured the very basic stars in while you've been over there, right?
Okay.
I haven't done anything that I wanted to explain to you either. Can we just take a moment to appreciate, Derek, how fabulous does her dress look? How absolutely amazing does her dress look?
It does.
That is all because I had that. This is why you go for the pale pink shade and the pale pink blend together, so that you've got, let's have a little look, you've got 1, 2, 3, and then you've got 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all in the same one. And again, if I show you that here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's what it looks like when she's on a little dress. She is amazing, right?
So that's the absolute bonus as well of having the essential tri-blends and the deep shades together, because that allows you to go up and down more steps of shading in various colours.
That's exactly what it's for.
So actually, the more beginning you are, the much more you need the 48.
Yep, that is exactly what you need.
It gives you a lot more wriggle room, doesn't it?
Now, what I've done here is I'm doing her wings a little bit more. I'm using the fair skin, so I'm using the same as the skin colours, but I'm going to come in with my my Illustrator blender pen. So I've left a little bit of the highlight here. So I've left a little bit of white, and then I'm just going over. This is why the Illustrator one's perfect to do it with, because you want that lovely brush nib on it. So the Illustrator blender pen is fabulous if you're wanting to get proper light bouncing off the edge. And what we're trying to do is totally obliterate that edge so that you don't see where the edge of the marker pen kind of finishes. So again, I'll show you it to the close-up after a little bit, but what we've done is we've just obliterated the edge by going over it with the blender. And then if I just do a little bit of a zoom on there, you can kind of see what I'm talking about, how you can't see a harsh line, but we've gone to white. So if you ever want to go to white, that's what you're going to do. Now, hair tones, right? Let me go back to those blends, because I talked about the essentials. And then I talked about the fact that when you got the deep, you had the 12. So these 12 at the bottom are all the extra, that's the deep shades, right? However, you've also got these 12 at the top, which are basically extra colours. So these are the first 24 colours, and these are what we said you absolutely need to have. So like I said, if you're only going for one box, you need to have the essentials, right? The deep blend is a bit of a bonus. So you've got 12 where you're going to extend the colour families, and then you've got 12 completely new colour families. Now, some of these are muted shades. So can you see the muted brown, the antique pink is muted, the yellow green is muted, the red brown is muted, this line here are all beautiful muted shades. So they're more your vintagey colours, and I can tell you they are lovely to do if you're doing like hair tones. So I'm going to use the muted brown to do a lovely shade of her hair. Now, if you remember what I did before, when we did hair, is I started off colouring all of it with that lightest shade, because we're going to try and get a little bit of texture running through her hair. So I'm going all the way around with the very, very lightest one there, Derek, so that she's going to look like she's going to look mono shade hair colour. But you'll see it'll all come together very nicely. Now I'm going to go over I'm going to go right into the edges of the flowers, because I'm going to go and colour the flowers with one of the extra shades as well. So other than going into the stars, which I'm trying to avoid, don't worry if you go into the flowers a little bit, right? So there's the very deep, the lightest one. Just remember what that looks like, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do hair lines in with the darkest one. Can you see? And you can see how it actually looks like real hair. But because we put the base of alcohol down first, it means that it will actually blend in. But this is how you get the shading. And I'm following the shading lines in her hair, so it looks a little bit more, look at that. So it looks very plain down here and at the top, but she's got actual real pieces of hair in that one there. Love this. Love this technique. And I'm going to do a little bit with that's the deepest one now.
So it was lightest and deepest.
And then I'm going to come in with the mid one. And I'm going to take the mid one over here as well.
And blend the blend.
Yes. Blend the blend and make her look like she's actually got some highlights in here.
Make sure she give her the look that she actually spent a few quid on it.
Yes. Maybe she goes to the same hairdresser as me. It's more than a few quid. Right.
I bet the coffee's good though, Sarah.
The coffee is very good.
Yeah.
So is the Prosecco they serve up as well. Oh, I know how to do it in style.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to go right. So I'm going to do the... I'm going to just do exactly what we have been doing, Derek, and I'm just going to put all of these shades in with the darkest ones first of all and colour this lovely little flower girl.
Okay, well, in the meantime, I'm going to tell you something that will make us both very, very jealous, that RS Strickland, that's the username on YouTube, is watching us whilst sitting outside in a rocking chair.
Oh, yes, you're right. That is making me feel very jealous.
We want to be that person, don't we?
Yeah.
Where are you? Yeah, I've lost my chair completely now. But that's fine by me. You know, I do actually feel better. You know how guilty I always feel when I'm doing a show, whether it's Craig or actually that would be the first one where I'd be sitting down with you, Sarah, and I feel. Oh no, I did last week as well, didn't I?
Oh yes, you did. Yes,
I did.
I felt like last week
couldn't
was
see each other, could
Tatiana's
we?
show, and you and I were just kind of like having a little go in Tatiana's show. Wasn't that lovely? That
Well, and
Tatiana
also we
one?
couldn't really see each other, could we?
No, we couldn't.
Because with lots of TVs and cameras in the way. Today we can see each other, and today I just feel like no, I feel guilty. Sarah's doing all of the work over there, and I'm sat down. I'm going to go back to the colouring as well. Oh look, here's somebody else watching us on the big TV. Oh, I'm colouring in the download as well. Rosalind.
I'm colouring the download. Rosalind, good job, Rosalind. That's looking fab.
I love that download. I nearly went to start tackling that particular image there, and then I thought, oh gosh, that might be a little bit. Oh, now here is Zara.
Do you know,
has...
I get some people call me Zara. It always frustrates me because I have a friend, Zara, and I think, well, it's really obvious because hers starts with a Z.
Well,
so how could you get mine mixed up?
Do you know before, because director Daniel, who works here now, and myself, we're best friends. And so before director Daniel came here to work here, and then I followed like a bad penny, he started talking to me about you.
Right.
And then kept saying Zara, Zara, Zara. And I was like, no, it's not Zara.
Now you've grassed him up.
It's Sarah. It's not the clothes shop. Her name is Sarah. And we actually did a bit of a coaching lesson, like I was some kind of voice coach, and I'm really not. But I was like,
teaching you how to say
Sarah, not Zara. But this is Zara, by the way,
if this
who's
is
colouring
Zara,
it.
let me just have a little look up. If this is the Zara that I think it is, Zara Levington, yes. She just lives up the road from me.
Oh, does she?
Yes. So
I
Zara,
love that.
Do you know, and Zara's mum is a good friend of mine.
Oh, fabulous.
Yes. So, and she's been watching our colouring shows right from the beginning. So Zara, I'm very impressed. Hope your mum's got you some of the lovely TriBlends.
That's awesome as well, Zara, as well, because that's one of those dream catcher images. I think that's one of the previous week's Colour Me Happy downloads. They're all there on the website, by the way, all of the previous ones. So go and find them because they're really, really good. I have a feeling that I might have had a little go at that one.
With
There's
the
one at home
Dreamcatcher
that
one?
I had to go at, one of the downloads with the lettering. Because when you get the lettering right, but now, do you know what I did? Is I coloured all the letters in the same shade of the same colour. What I need to do is do shading on the lettering. That's what I need to do.
Do you know what blending's where it's at, Derek?
It is.
You need to get down with the kids on the blend.
Yeah, forget
now,
the one colour.
I'm going to cut this little girl out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her this little glow around the outside so that she's very forgiving, both where I've gone out of the lines, but then also where I'm going to colour. It gives me a nicer one to cut. I've just realised I haven't got my rotating cutting board. So much harder, rotating design board. So much more difficult when you haven't got the rotating cutting board.
Oh, right, okay. Well, you mentioned it. Oh, dear. Did you have to bring it up now, Sarah? We are now limited stock, and that means we have less than 10% of the available stock available, and that's it. Do you know the other thing? Actually, somebody else said about the board. It means that I can colour anywhere, And actually it means you can colour at an angle because of course it will hold your piece. So if you want to colour at an angle, you've got it on a lap board or one of those lap trays, or you're just resting it on your knees, sat in a comfortable chair or sat on a beanbag or whatever. That would be lovely. You'd have it wherever you like, couldn't you?
You could.
Because it also has the grippy feet, so if you've got it down on your desk and your table, it'll kind of hold itself there. As I don't want to shake this too much because I don't want to knock over the display, but it actually got, at each of the four corners, it's got little rubbery feet, which is brilliant. And I know Sarah wants this back.
Yeah, she does.
Well,
that's mine. That's mine.
Oh, this is your very own one, isn't it?
In.
Oh, by the way, the one that we're showing you here isn't actually the size of the one that you're getting here, because this one is 9.5 by 12 inches. The one you're getting is 12.5 by 12.5, so it'll be a 12.5 inch square, so even better. So that means also your 12 by 12 papers will go on it too. And I love the fact that you can move the clip around, or even, you know, don't use it if you don't want to. Could you use something like you know, one of those sort of very, very light adhesives, if you wanted to use that on the actual board on the underside, just
yes.
Those low tack ones.
Absolutely, and especially if you've got the what you call it, our stick away, because then you could just clear everything up. Now, what I'm doing here, Derek, they call me Sarah Scissorhands in the office, you know. So I am quite competent with a pair of scissors, especially when it comes to this like freehand cutting like this.
Should I be worried?
Look how much easier it is because we've gone around the outside with that blue. It's so much easier to go around than if you'd gone around the image. So any of these images, if you're wanting to cut around them, then please definitely go around the image with one of your other pens and then cut around your pen image, as opposed to trying to cut really up close. Because let me tell you, they're like they're not designed. Rubber stamps, stamped drawings like this aren't designed to be cut out. They're designed to just be coloured. So if you do want to cut them to stick them onto your card, as I'm doing here, this is the best way you can get away with doing that.
Do you know that came up as a question as well in the comments earlier, and I don't think I got to asking you the question about how you cut them out. So it's almost like you were a mind reader there. But yeah, gosh, that makes so much sense, because if you think about that, if you hadn't have done that outline colour there in the blue, you'd be trying to cut around those little stars. There's one next to her foot. You'd be trying to cut around all the little glow around the candle, all of those stars and the flowers in a hairpiece there as well. It would be a blooming nightmare, wouldn't it?
There you go. She looks lovely, doesn't she?
That's amazing.
And she should absolutely, that's what it should look like on the back.
Wow.
That's definitely what it should look like on the back, okay? And because we did more work on the dress, look how it's come through a little bit more. Now, I'm going to put the card together again. So I've gone nice and, I've got like, again, I had the Nativity collection. You can tell what I had to hand at home, didn't you? Mm-hmm. And I've made a diorama card. So I've just done the Oh Holy Night on the inside, and then I've cut a frame out to go on the front of it. And I'm going to use use a regular tape pen. So this is just, there's loads of tutorials. If you haven't seen me do a diorama card before, you definitely need to go back and watch a load of our tutorials, because it's a beautiful card to work with. And I thought it would be really nice if we stick these together and then we had her looking into the diorama. So I haven't focused too much on the techniques for the card making, because it's been more of a colouring masterclass, this one, than a card making masterclass. And I do plenty of the other type of masterclasses. So she that comes on there. She's going to step down on the bottom. And actually, do you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to 3D her up a little bit. Right, so I'm going to put her down there, and I'm going to use some little globules of 3D glue gel to come right up the side so that she sticks down really, really well. There we go.
That's just the sweetest image, isn't it?
Isn't she just lovely on there, right? So she's going to go on there. And then all I've got is I've stamped out Christmas blessings so that we've got a nice little sentiment for on the bottom. And then I've also just got a nice and simple, again, I'm going to use a globule of glue gel so that it sticks on really, really well. And then if you want to, little tip is you could always you could use your glue gel to hold down the little bits, the little bits on there so that it holds it nicely. And then there is another one to add to my collection. I'm getting quite the lovely collection going along. So I've got two on the top. We'll knock you back and we'll put this one in here. And I think they're starting. Do you know, and isn't this lovely? I've sat, so we've been on an hour and a half, and I've coloured 3 images. And do you know when I like to do a lot of my colouring, Derek? We sit on a night, and Simon likes to watch the TV or whatever. And if there's sometimes we'll sit and watch something together. We'll watch a movie or something. But then other times he wants to watch the cricket highlights, especially now all the sports are back on. And I'm not really interested in anything that he's got on TV. But I don't like to sit in the other room doing something else. I feel like we should spend a little bit of quality time together after the kids have gone to bed, even if that's on opposite corners of the opposite couches in the opposite corners of the living room, whilst we've got some big 72-inch plasma screen in the corner playing out some cricket match that I'm not bothered about. That's when I get my pens out and sit and do my colouring. And I find this is why the TriBlends are brilliant. I've tried sitting doing it with the AquaBlend pencils as well, but then I want to get the water brush out. That was a disaster on the couch one day. So sit with the TriBlends, and I can just sit and be lost in my own thing whilst half having a conversation potentially. Or sometimes I am a little bit interested in what's going on TV, and I can just be looking up and keeping an eye on the score or whatever, and just be sitting going with my colouring. And that's the beauty of these. They're so convenient to be able to pick up and take on the go.
2 words, Sarah, that should never be in the same sentence.
Go on.
Cricket highlights.
Oh!
Surely there is no such thing. How on earth do they manage to cobble a collection together called Cricket Highlights? No disrespect. I know some people absolutely love their sport, whether it's kicking a bag of wind around a field or, knocking a ball over, trying to knock over some wooden sticks. I'm throwing my ball at your wooden sticks to try and knock them down.
I was president of the Ladies Cricket Club at university.
Oh,
yes.
Really?
Quite the little all-rounder I was.
Oh.
Used to be a change bowler, used to bat middle of the order.
Right.
That's only because we used to struggle to get a team together, and they thought because I was the president of the... So the president is the one that runs it. So I ran the cricket club like a business. Right, I wasn't the best player on the team, but I ran our club as a business and took us to our most successful year in decades when I was at university.
So let me get this right. So were you in your whites?
Yes.
Okay, so you'd be one of those that's on the far side of the field where you're like, well, there's someone there. I can't really tell who it is because you're so far away. and did you do the whole crouching thing like you were ready for something to happen?
To catch, yeah, I was a terrible fielder, so they used to have to hide me in the field somewhere.
We need to see pictures of that, I'm afraid. We need evidence
I'll
of that.
have to try and find some.
We need evidence of that. Yes, don't we? We'll get that. We'll get that definitely, I think, at some point. That's a brilliant story, by the way. I love that. I love it. I love finding out gossip. Karen just asked, does the bag in the show hold the TriBlends? Yes, we got it. We did originally. We'd had the 72-piece carrier, which was for the illustrators. We've now changed that to the 48 for the TriBlend. So if you're shopping the show, we've added it to the show category there for you because we did that just before the show, which is superb. Actually, this is a really, really good one, and I'll ask Sarah in just a moment, Patricia, your question. I'm going to go through the designs one by one, just quickly while Sarah prepares for her next demonstration, and I'll ask her your question. I think it was who asked the question? Patricia. I'll ask your question in just a second to Sarah. Right, okay, let's go through the stamp collection. This is why everyone's loving this, and I'm loving to show you these on boards as well, just kind of brings them to life a little bit more as well, because it's great to see the demos with Sarah. But of course, now you can see all of the images and how they stamp out and the sentiments and the individual elements. Because remember, in total, you're looking at 95 different stamps, over 95 actually, with the elements that come with these. So this is Enjoy the Festivities, which is beautiful. That's the ice skating lady. And then we have Twinkle Twinkle, which I love with the little festive decorations and everything. It's such fun. And I love the fact that you've got a separate stamp there to take that as streamers into your other Christmas projects as well. Then we have got Oh What Fun. Oh What Fun is too right. Oh, stop it. No, it's too early, isn't it? It's too early. Even the shops haven't started doing Christmas yet, have they? Which is quite unusual ordinarily in an ordinary year. That might be the good thing about 2020. Christmas in the stores might actually happen when it's meant to this year. Who knows? Making Spirits Bright has got all of the little Christmas decorations and gifts and all sorts on there. Then we've got Hello Winter. I love that one. I love with the girl there just cozying up to the reindeer. Love that. And then you've got From Our Home to Yours, which again is beautiful. That might be good for folks that are, because a lot of people are like buying houses right now and moving house. And a lot of people like to put extra stress on themselves, don't they? Let's move at Christmas. Let's exchange contracts on Christmas Eve. So that might be a good one for someone who's moving at that time of the year. Then we've got Be Merry and Bright, which is lovely. That's the one that Sarah just had her looking into the diorama card. And then you have got your Happy Holidays, which I think is one of my favourites as well. You know, sort of giving a gift from one to the other is brilliant. And actually, I'm going to keep that in shot for a second while I ask the question to Sarah from Patricia, because we did lighter complexions, Sarah, but if you wanted to do a darker skin tone, would you follow the same kind of principle as you would in the hair, for instance, in this particular image here?
Absolutely would. The muted browns and the red browns are brilliant for deeper skin tones, and the tan blends.
Okay.
Yep.
Brilliant.
We have loads of tutorials on that on Crafters TV and on the website. If you want to go, we do tutorial downloads. If you go on the Spectrum Noir website, which will tell you what colours to use for different shades of skin, for different colours of hair, and it'll tell you all the colours. Because I'm not very good. I have to copy off something else. So I'm not very good at going, oh yes, that's this colour, this colour, this colour, this colour. I like to just have a recipe card, which is why I keep telling you what colour I'm using for everyone. And if you want, I will make sure when we put these images on here, I'll put them on social media and I'll put the colours that we used as well in case you want to copy them exactly.
Fabulous. We better just check in with the rotating board, Johnny, I'm thinking as well, because that's probably, are we talking, yeah, we're talking like, you know, probably about that many, not many at all. I couldn't do it on two hands, I don't think. We are at single figures. So if you have it in your basket, we'll have more people with it in baskets than we actually have available now. So it'll be the next few of you that check out, and then I'll come back and let you know about the sellout. We knew it was going to happen. But I'm just so glad that so many of you have got it as well. So as sorry as I am for those people who are about to miss out, I'm really glad for those people who have actually got it, Sarah, because that's really good news, isn't it?
Well, it's brilliant. And then we'll just not be allowed to use it on any of the shows from now until when the next delivery comes in, which will be goodness knows how long.
You have to do manual colouring.
Yes, manual twisting of the colouring. Right, let's go and start again with the skin tone then. Just to remind everybody exactly what we're doing. We're doing a rounded face. So you start with the deeper shades here, little bit of deep shade under a nose, and then you lighten it out as you come in. So start with your fair skin if you want to do the fair skin ones, and then you just, do you want me to do a deeper skin tone?
Yeah, why not?
I was going to use red brown for a hair.
Why
but do you want
not?
me to try and do maybe some, let's have a little think. I'll do red brown for the skin tone. And then I'll get the tan shades out for the hair.
That's
instead.
a good idea.
Yeah?
Do you know what? Bernie Burnsify, which is a username on YouTube, has just noticed, wow, that's a lot of stamps in that bundle. It is, yeah. When you look at, you know, like it's 95 plus with the elements of it, but every one of those has got, you've got 8 big feature character stamps there, and then elements that all, you know, all interchange with each other, as we saw on the. Who was it who was colouring them in already? Who had them? We had the Anita who sent the picture earlier with a whole bunch of them all together, and you can link in the elements beautifully, Sarah.
Yes, you really can, can't you? And actually, this design here, I've already stamped it ready, but we've stamped a little bit over in the corner, and then I've also stamped some of the other presents as well. Now let's have a look. I've left a big highlight in the middle there, and I'm actually going to come in with one of the middle shades now and blend over that middle shade. Now, if you can't quite get it to blend exactly as you would want, don't worry, because what you can do is I can show you a crafty little technique here if you want. You can always come and take some of the darker shades. So if you want to put the darker shade, for example, down on, that's quite difficult to see. Maybe I'll go with a slightly darker one again so you can see it. On your glass mat, right? You pop it on your glass mat, then what you do is you come and scoop it up onto the nib. Can you see we've like cross-infected that nib?
Oh yeah.
And if I just show you on the side of the paper so you can see, if I colour that now, can you see it colours it until it flushes it through the nib. So now the nib's back to being clean. So what I can do is I can put that little bit of a shade down on the glass mat, And by the way, brilliant thing to clean these up with at the end of the day, bit of hand sanitizer, all right? And then I can put a little bit more colour around there so that she blends beautifully, so that we get that lovely kind of blend in the shade. So now we've got a darker skin tone. I've actually probably gone a little bit light with her there. So I can always go and add in a little bit more of your darker shade if you want, any time. And just take a skin tone back to where you want it to be. If in doubt though, wait until all the alcohol's evaporated, because then you can actually, then you'll get a chance to see it. So I've gone with, try to show you a darker skin tone there. Let me show you the darker colours in the hair again. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to use the brown of the tan. So this is the tan, but this is the tan shade, not the tan, sorry, we call it, yeah, tan shades, where you've got the deeper shade of the tans here. So this is not, the first tan's got the lighter colours, which is the one that I said was brilliant for skin tones. This is the next one, which I find is in the shades collection, and that is brilliant for your hair tones, I've personally found. So there's my tan. And then I'm going to do the tan there. I'm going to leave the bow, we'll do the bow a different colour. And I'm going to put this in, this part coming in here. So there's a little bit of hair in there. Make sure I'm not colouring any of her bow in with hair colour, because I have been known to do that. Yeah, there we go. So there is all of her hair. Then remember what I showed you we were going to do. We're then going to come in with the darker shade, and you're going to just draw in the strips of hair. Yep. So you're going to draw it in, and then also them flicky little bits out. And if you've got that rotating cutting board, then how fabulous that you can do it and just rotate this around. So there's my lightest, darkest one in there. And then you're going to come in with the mid shade and go over it again. And it just means that because we put the lightest colour down first, you've always got that base of colour, and you've got the hair shading over top of it. Doesn't it look great?
It does. It's really come together beautifully, that combination, doesn't it?
Lovely. Right, so there's the hair shade, and I'm just going to work my way in now. I'm going to do her jacket, and I'm going to do a bow the same colour as the jacket.
Love, love, love this. So many of you as well have been watching the show. Some of you are coming into the show later as well. Just in terms of the rotating board, for those people who've just spotted it, I'm just going to have to apologise, and I'm just going to hope that someday, one day, that it returns.
It will. It will absolutely be coming back.
Okay, good.
It's just when.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
we're
going to
just
take a
waiting for the
little
next delivery
wee while.
now.
Now, do you think we're going to have...
It's worth remembering though, so literally the day we're getting stuff in, there's that many people waiting for them. Things could go same day.
Yeah.
So we're getting deliveries every day now, starting to get stock back up on things, not just Tiffany, but all of our stuff. So if there's something you're specifically waiting for, get on there and have a look for it.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, it's happened so many times as well. Even since I've been here, for the last few weeks I've been here, that things that have come back in that have been out for a while, and it's like, oh, okay, well, yesterday, I mean, the foils are a good example of that as well. Some of the colours of that disappeared quickly as well. Recent deliveries of glitter card as well, where colours have disappeared, especially the Christmas colours. Everyone's over the Christmas colours at the moment, Sarah, aren't they? Which you wouldn't expect really in any other business. You wouldn't expect that kind of demand in a month like August, but that's crafting, isn't it?
Yep, our guys want the Christmas colours.
Super organised.
Right, I've just realised, because we've gone with the darker skin tone, we're going to have to go darker on her legs and her hands as well. So we're going to make sure everything's matching in there.
Yeah. Gorgeous, gorgeous images. I mean, they're really, really lovely, aren't they? I mean, they're great fun. What an amazing illustrator Annabelle is. I mean, really, really nice, because there's such life in her work as well. It's something a little bit different. It's kind of not twee and classic. It's quite modern and bright. It's quite fun. And I love with the sentiment stamps that come with these. In fact, the one that you're doing right now, let me find the board for the one that you're doing right now. So you're doing From Our Home to Yours, which is reaching up for the Christmas tree. So on the stamp set with that one, you've actually got another set of those Christmas lights as a separate stamp. You've got more stars. So you've got the star at the top of the tree that on Sarah's one there, but you've got another star that size and some more beyond that. You've got some Christmas gifts that you can place around that, all separate stamps, and then you've got some sentiments in there. So you've got, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Sorry, no, it doesn't say that at all. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. That's what it says. From our home to you, oh Christmas tree, have a holly jolly Christmas. And oh Christmas tree you've got on there as well. So if you think about all of the different elements that you've got, and that's just one of the stamp sets. So if you went for just that one, you wouldn't just have the image that Sarah's colouring in right now. You'd have all of those other images which you know cross over to your Christmas projects left, right and centre. But I would definitely think about getting all of the stamps as well. Now, you remember we were talking earlier about the download for this show, because there is another image that even if you're not buying any of the stamps at all, you can go and download for free, and it's one of Annabelle's images as well. So go to our website, go to Crafters TV Home, and then go to Colour Me Happy, and you will find not just this week's download, but there are other downloads there as well from previous editions. In fact, there are loads and loads and loads. So if you ever think, oh, I've got nothing to colour, I've coloured it all in now. Well, hello. Oh, is that a Joe there? You can colour Joe happy as well, can you, as well?
Oh, you can colour Joe.
Oh, brilliant.
With Sharon, see if she'll do us a Derek one.
Oh.
Yes. Derek,
I'm not sure if
have
I got any distinctive features. I tell you what, you've got a big forehead to play with. Let me tell you, you've got a big beard with Joe and a big forehead with me. You'd have to be kind.
Right.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Right, how are we getting on, Sarah?
Brilliant.
Oh, it's tree
what
time
I'm
now.
doing, so I've coloured all of the girl in. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just doing a little bit different to what you normally see me doing. I'm doing all of the lighter colour first, all right? So plenty down. And can you see when I'm going over with the pens that none of the stamped lines are moving? That's because we stamped it in that awesome colour. With the awesome
with the alcohol proof.
Alcohol proof. Yep. So let's have a look. I'm going to come up from here now.
See, she's disappeared in that coma, isn't she? She
Totally.
can't speak anymore.
I can't think of my words.
She's gone. We've lost her.
And do you know what the benefit of doing all of that colour to start with is? It's easier to then blend.
Yes.
So I'm taking it now, and I'll just do a couple at once, and then I'll come into this lighter one, and look how easier it is, because you've already got a base of alcohol down there. And
so
you know how everything in life's easier with a base of alcohol down there, Derek.
So as a basic rule then, as a basic rule of thumb, if you're thinking of shading, you could always generally, and this is probably a general rule of thumb, I guess, is go over with the lightest shade, just go over everything if you want to, just to have a nice base, and then you can work your shading in. You can work out where your darker pieces of shading are and where your mid points will be. But actually laying that first.
Look at that.
Now look.
Look at that.
Awesome.
Looks incredible. And I found, did you notice I've just flipped it over because I find it a little bit easier to work from upside down when I'm pulling the colour towards me like this. There, you've lost me again.
Yeah. No, that's good. I love Christmas trees. I love drawing Christmas trees, and I love anything to do with. Love making Christmas trees. There's something about a Christmas tree and the shape of it, and the way in which you can decorate it from there as well. Because remember, once you've done all the colouring and the shading, I mean, it's a beautiful illustration as it is. But you think, I mean, you've got the baubles that are hanging. Well, they're hanging up at the moment on Sarah's, but when they go back the right way around, they'll be hanging down like most people's do. Your festive ornaments, I know as you call it, across the pond. But you could get your embossing powders onto there. You get your sparkle pens onto there. You could get your metallic markers into those baubles as well, and really jazz it up. Now, with this, are you still going to do the technique where you go round the outside of the whole thing, Sarah? So if we wanted to cut it out as a topper and matte and layer it on something else,
I do love that technique.
What's the colour that we would go round with this?
Do you know? I think I might go around with a. I'm liking the pale blue ones, if I'm being really honest.
Yeah, it did work so well that last time, didn't it?
Nice, doesn't it? Yeah. So, and let's have a look. I'm bringing the metallic pens in a little bit. It's quite nice to do on here as well. So I think I'm going to come in with the blue and the, I've done blue and pink. And then also what I'm going to do, let's have a look. Apparently the guys have been stalking my Facebook. I don't think you've looked far enough back, you know. So, yeah, you do realise it was 15 years ago now.
do we? So is it going to be online? See, I love being the age that I am, Sarah, because I'm much older than Sarah, and it's great. So anything that I don't want people to see pictures of, it all happened before the internet came along. So there's no evidence unless
Facebook was just coming out when we were at uni.
Unless my mum and dad flick through the drawers of Polaroids, that were developed at the chemist and everything else, and get those on the internet. There's no embarrassment out there. So do we need to have a word with...
They're asking where I went to university at. I don't know if you're going to be checking the university website. Trust me, there's be no pictures on the university website. I went to university at York. York.
Oh,
yes.
Listen, we know people in York. Do we need to... Are there any images, sort of...
I'll see if I can find one. If I can find one, I promise I'll...
Might some of them be actual photos?
Yeah. Actual photographs, yeah.
Okay, we can always have a word with
Right, last bit of plumper. Do you know, I am so impressed with how many images I've got coloured.
She says changing the subject.
Quickly. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean,
isn't it good?
What a show! I can just say, I can't remember enjoying a show this much for quite a while, because this is just this is literally, I've just been lost.
Yeah,
it's been lost for the whole show.
It's superb, isn't it? And it's really, really, it is genuinely relaxing as well. It's just as relaxing actually sitting here just sort of chatting with you and watching Sarah as it is actually doing it as well, which I think is really, really good. Right, well, Susan has sent us a picture from California. Now, I believe Susan...
is that Susan who's on the Craft House with us?
She is. She's coming next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Oh.
Yes.
Susan, have you got yours done already? Oh,
I know.
She's there. She's
Look
on
at
it.
that.
Susan, fabulous.
Now, Susan, am I going to be with you on the Craft House for that one? Am I? Yes, because I think I'm in for the next few weekends, which is good. So I'm really looking forward to that. We've got lovely... who have we got tomorrow? We've got Emma tomorrow on the Craft House with us. But then, Susan, you're joining us the week after as well. Awesome. Brilliant. Really looking forward to that. I love doing Craft House. I have to say, for me... that is my all-time most awesome show. Not only do I sit down, but I come into your living rooms and your lives and your workrooms and your craft caves. And I love when we went to Christine's in New York and it looked like, I thought she had a shop. She had that many bits and pieces behind her, that many crafting materials behind her. It was, awesome. And all of our guests, just brilliant. Really, if you were fancy coming on the Craft House as well, by the way, listen, please do, because it's really, really lovely. We love talking to you. I know the rest of our lovely our band of everyone in the Purple Kingdom on Facebook, on YouTube, everyone here as well. We all love seeing what you do as well. We always get really, really massively positive comments as well. So that's a show where we can sit down, we can have a chat. You can craft along with us as well. We might even send you some goodies that haven't even been launched yet that you can join us on the Craft House with. I'm just saying .com. Don't go to that website. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Just drop us a quick email. Maybe send us a couple of pictures of cards that you've made, or drawings that you've coloured, or whatever it might be. Just send us your field of expertise, and our producers Johnny and Laura will look through your emails, and we'll contact you. We'll hook up and make it happen. And listen, you don't have to be nervous about being on the telly, because it's literally it's really
only us.
It's only us, and we don't bite unless you ask nicely. Right, where are now? We've been right the way round the tree, Sarah, in that time.
Well, I've left a little bit on the bottom because I want to show you something.
Oh.
Right? So, she needs some ground to stand on. Right?
Oh, okay.
Now, here's what you do if you want to put ground on. Put yourself a bit of alcohol down to start with. So, I'm just going to give myself a nice base, nice wet base with the blender pen. All right? Then I'm going to use the IGs, the ice greys. Yep. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to come with the darkest one first. Right, so you just put a little bit of grounding on there, and then the dark one, step down into the middle one, And then the middle one's going to step out to the lightest one, so that we've used like a little bit of shading for the ground. And then you're going to come back over with your blender pen just to blur the edge out. And it's nice. Oh, it's lovely. The blender pen in the Illustrator is brilliant because it's nice and wet and alcohol-y. And again, all of these are refillable. So if you get yourself a blender pen, and also I always get a blender pen and the blender refill, it's perfect to work with.
Do you know what you need to do to that one tiny little finishing touch? There's a suggestion from. Oh, is that what I think it is?
Clear sparkle.
I was literally just about to say. You need to put some sparkle down on the ground, because if she's decorating the tree with anything sparkly, you always then have to spend loads of time picking up sparkly bits off the carpet when you've decorated the trees. Are you a mind reader?
Oh, I can read your mind, Derek. I can read your mind. Do you think we've got time to make her into a last little card?
Yeah.
Right, so what I've done is I have done a stepper card. All right, so I've got this lovely stepper card, and then I've got just a nice bit of background here. So I'm just going to keep this nice and simple. I think it just looks a bit weird without a bit of colour around the edge, though. I'm going to go for a bit of grey with that one, I think. Let's have a look. I've got a bit of Frosty Jade. Always sounds like someone who's upset with you, Frosty Jade, doesn't it? Or a bit of pumice. So let's have a little look. I'm thinking maybe there's a bit of pumice here.
I love the fact that we call one of our colours pumice, because pumice is the stone, isn't it, that people
yes, that you use to get all the hard skin off your feet.
Yeah. Now you buy one of those battery-operated wheel things that are impregnated with diamonds these days, don't you? So you don't have to go near a pumice stone anymore.
There we go. Do you know what? I think that's made such a difference to that.
Yes,
just having a little bit of colour around the edge. It looked a little bit stark before, and having that little bit of pumice stone, bit of pumice stone around the edge, and she is going to go on there. Yeah, that looks loads better, you see.
Yeah, that's much softer, isn't it?
I'm just going to come down. We're going to use the tape pen on here. That's right, by the way, with all of this. So all I'm going to do, if you want to kind of keep an eye on me, Derek, is I'm just going to literally stick it together.
All right. Well, I'll just remind you, you can see it on the details next to Sarah's working there. The main bundle there, which is the 8 stamps. Well, don't forget, you also get the Nina solar card there as well, so it's 16 sheets as well, which is really good. So stamp those with the alcohol proof, of course, if you're going to be using your TriBlend. Stamp that onto the Nina, follow Sarah's instruction, and well, it's not even instruction, is it? She's not telling you, she's showing you, hey, look, here's how I do it, give it a try. Come and join me. £35, $45. Shall I show you the stamp sets again real quick, because we're about to run out of time. And it's been such a busy show as well, across the board with the TriBlends and the stamp set as well. So enjoy the festivities. That's that one with the little skating lady. Then we've got Twinkle Twinkle, which is the decorating of the tree. Then we got the cheeky little elf, which is oh what fun. What to call that, Derek? Making spirits bright, holding the little lantern there. Then you've got Hello Winter, which is get close and cuddle a reindeer. Oh, I had an unfortunate incident with a reindeer once. That was a long time ago.
That sounds ominous.
Nearly had my eye out. I was doing a promo for Christmas, and I was holding a real reindeer, and no one told me to, hold the reindeer away from yourself. That'll be the thing to do, because if it moves its head, there's so many bits of the antler, you're bound to get one of them in your eye. Anyway, be merry and bright. We got happy holidays when we got from ours to yours, and I think I've shown you all 8 there, one way or the other. £35, $45. Very popular as well, as are the TriBlends. Remember, now we have that good understanding of why we need. Well, actually, if you want to go for the essentials on their own, fine and dandy, you can absolutely do that. But actually, with the deep blends, the two are a marriage so made in heaven, it kind of makes sense to have all of those together. And of course, it's one of those things that they are refillable as well. £125, $190. And you'll find it, I'm sure, on our website. We all need a blender pen, don't we, today as well? I mean, some people have them.
Yes.
If you've bought your illustrators anyway, if you've bought your sets of illustrators, you'll have a blender pen. But I'm feeling like I need a blender pen.
Yes, I think a blender pen would be a really good shout for you, Derek.
Yeah, just for safety's sake, you know, it's going to get a good use. I would say probably out of all the pens that I end up getting, that would be the one that probably gets used the most, which is brilliant. How long have we got? Oh, we've got literally 6. How's your card coming along, Sarah?
We are nearly there. I'm just putting a couple of little 3D. So these are off the stamp set that goes with it as well. So I've just added a few little presents onto the stamp set that goes with this. And then she is looking wonderful. And you know what? I'm going to remind you of all the ones that we've done because I think we've had a pretty good show, okay? So we did her. If we go right back to the beginning, we had this gorgeous little girl there as well. I went on from doing that to doing my ice skating goddess on here as well. After the ice skating goddess, we then, we did that lovely depth of blending with the dress, which can I just say, I am very, very pleased with. She looks fabulous. What I will do is I will make sure that over the weekend at some point, I share the exact colours. I'll put them on the Crafters TV, Facebook page, and I will put all the colours that go with each one.
Lovely. Thank you, Sarah. Wow. Gosh, it's amazing. And we've got so many demos into 2 hours as well. Now listen, when are you back with us on Crafters TV?
Monday morning.
Does that mean that you are having the whole weekend?
The whole weekend.
No way.
To sleep.
Right, hang on a second. Let me just do a checklist first before she says. So, no HSN?
No HSN.
No Create and Craft?
No Create and Craft.
No
ITV.
No ITV?
No.
No Channel 4, no Channel 5 and BBC?
No makeup on, no brushing of the hair, none of this. No, I am literally going to spend all weekend dossing.
Love it. And so you should as well, because it's been a busy, busy, busy week. Have a wonderful weekend, Sarah.
I will indeed.
Listen, I am back with you. I can't believe now it's officially the weekend, everyone. Now, this is the time where you think, oh, I can go do something else now. But think of all the shows on Crafters TV that you didn't get round to actually seeing the first time around. You couldn't make them for one reason or another. Now's the time to catch up and to binge watch, isn't it? I am back with you with another masterclass at 11 a.m. here in the UK, 6 a.m. on the East Coast with the gorgeous Debbie Robinson, It's Nature's Garden, Lily Collection and so much more, and the Craft House tomorrow. I'll see you on Saturday. Have a good rest of Friday.